Welcome to Silicon Scoop, where we dive into the latest tech news impacting the world. Join John Irwin and the Startup Coach as they explore the tech news that matters to you. Stay ahead, stay informed, and now on with the show.
The era of the passive chatbot is dead, and Google just turned your Office suite into a fleet of autonomous agents. Everybody's getting into the autonomous agent world, John. We aren't just talking about AI writing your emails anymore. We're looking at the system that can audit invoices, build its own apps, and fill spreadsheets 9 times faster than a human. Google's Workspace becomes agentic AI. So Google has launched Workspace Intelligence, a unified layer that connects Gmail, Drive, and Sheets to perform autonomous tasks. And no longer just suggesting text, it's executing multi-step workflows like a digital employee. This effectively turns every employee into a manager of AI agents, potentially eliminating the boring 60% of office admin work overnight. What do you think about this, John?
Yeah, so not surprising.
You think they're just also, Ron, trying to catch up?
I think that this is a smart move by Google because everyone uses, or most people use Gmail and Docs. So integrating something that's more useful than just writing emails or summarizing documents makes sense. And Gemini is pretty decent as far as being a multimodal AI kind of family, right? So I like it because it just integrates seamlessly, if that makes sense, right? Just it's you don't have to add on anything, you don't have to install anything. At least I don't think so. You have to enable some things, but this makes sense now that they have a working, a good, solid LLM, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
you use more of these automation tools than I do. So what do you think?
Well, I've just been using more and more Google Workspace automation over the last few days, just because I have all these other automation tools that I use, and I can't, test and run every one of them that come out, but I like to stay on top of it. And I do use Google Workspace. And yeah, there really seems to be 2 dominant Office platforms, the Google Workspace and then Microsoft. And, the startup world seems to be dominated by Google, whereas the enterprise seems to be dominated by Microsoft. Now, I mean, people can argue with me here and there, but that seems to be the split. Then, students and whatnot, they mostly use Google because they can get it for free or low end or what have you. But anyway, think of this like an update from a GPS that gives you directions and moving to a self-driving car. An old AI told you how to write the email or told you how to organize the data, where agentic AI actually puts its hands on the wheel, drives to the destination, and handles the paperwork once it gets there.
Yeah. So
Imagine this. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. No.
You can immediately now paste messy brain dump of text that you've dictated or grabbed from a bunch of emails or whatever into Sheets and have it instantly converted into professional formatted table, as an example.
Yeah. So the breakthrough here that I'm seeing here is that it's the connection between all of these, like you said, right? So it's a knowledge graph of all your work where AI understands all these relationships. So this is a perfect, think of it like a one-stop shop for everything that you're working on. The only problem is that it's going to be disconnected between Gmail accounts, I think, right?
Well, I don't know what the enterprise version versus Teams versus individual are going to look like, and what will be shared or what won't be. It's always a little funky when you have a corporate account with Google and some of these things, because they're very pernickety about who gets access to the data and stuff. So I don't know whether I would assume at some time admin can have global templates, global knowledge base that they can point to, but I have not played with it yet, so I don't want to make those assumptions.
Yeah. Fair
but
enough.
The specs are 9 times faster data entry for 100 cell tasks, like using Phil with Gemini saying, "Oh, just go put this in." 5 times faster migration speed from Microsoft 365 to Google Workspace. They've got AI to help you migrate faster, I guess. And They have an 8.5% year-over-year growth in AI-generated notes using usage within Google Meets. And I think that's going to get more and more and more. I noticed lots of other tools now have just recently put an updated full-fledged Google Meet agent. So, for example, with OpenClaw, my OpenClaw can attend meetings for me now or with me, take notes, do action items, take actions right there, live in the session based on what's going on. Like, it's crazy what things can do. So the more you start integrating these features, because that's a third-party product doing it. So if you can talk to your spreadsheet and say, you know what, Bob sent me some numbers last week and Jane did the week before, go get those status reports and put them in the spreadsheet here and summarize them for me. And it goes, checks your email, grabs the stuff and does it for you. You just start realizing that that's something you can tell it to do. Great. But the active AI agents will eventually say, you know what? From now on, every time this type of information comes in, I want you to build a report from this or add it to this report. And that stuff just starts happening. And so those spreadsheets and workflows and monthly reports start getting built and things start happening automatically that you don't understand. And let me give you an example of it. I installed an OpenClaw agent in the cloud, KiloClaw, gave it access to my Google and didn't really do anything with it. But it automatically responded to you. It changed our calendar appointment. It responded to other people. It sent a potential client a quote before I realized it was doing anything. It just started doing stuff. And like, I had to rein it in a little bit because it made a couple of mistakes. It moved your meeting to a place where I had a conflict rather than checking for a conflict. And so you got to, only because I didn't tell it these things. Right. But I'm just giving you, people out there listening, an example of all of a sudden you have a digital avatar assistant that will be thinking like you as you train it along and will do these things for you automatically. So your work becomes more productive, more. You won't have to do the grunt work, the entry, putting all the stuff together.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember, we might have talked about this before, but there was someone who had asked AI the replacement on a per token basis for one person and the cost for that. It was millions of tokens, right, for someone's job, and I think the cost was under $10 or under $5. It's ridiculous.
And well, we are going there, but I'm going to correct you on that right now. So did you hear the CEO of NVIDIA talking? You know, when he's interviewing developers at the end of the year and doing the reviews, he's going to ask them what was their token spend. And if someone says $5,000, he's going to fire them immediately. He said, your token spend better be close to $50,000 or higher, or you shouldn't be working here. So we need to understand that the employees are not going to be $10 a month. Yeah. The whole thing won't run. Like, you have to start understand there's some realistic costs around that. But the gains are better. And once you get it locked in these things, the gains are better. So we'll have to see how that goes. But if it's built in, for example, it's built into these things. So this one, leaning more to some of these built-in tools because they don't use your tokens usually. Yeah. They use what I'm saying, your already budgeted tokens versus many of the API tools, which you're spending per usage all the time. And that really adds up versus saying it's all part of my subscription. I get these agents to do hundreds of hours of work for me for next to nothing because it's all part of my great. But that will only last for so long because we're seeing it all over the place. Everybody's raising their prices because they're losing money on the compute and the power, and they can't serve the audience as well. But I'm really excited about how everybody's getting into this agentic workflow business. You know, with back to Google, this system uses agentic workflows which rely on iterative loops that critiques its own draft and corrects its logic layer before you ever see the first version. To lure enterprise giants, Google introduced sovereign data locking, allowing companies to legally tether their AI training data strictly to EU or US soil to bypass strict regulations. And I guess I don't know because I didn't check that one, but I would imagine if you built that in, you might as well build it in for other bigger countries as well.
Might as well, yeah.
Um, the skills feature in Workspace Studio essentially brings our robotic process automation to the masses. Tech that used to cost $100K in enterprises licenses now drag and drop features in a spreadsheet. So it's building drag and drop agent builders right in the platform, which is potentially going to change the game. But the agentic model requires deep access to your private data to be effective. If Google's AI control center has even one security lapse, the AI's contextual understanding becomes a blueprint for a massive data breach. Yeah. So what do you think, John? Are you going to be jumping in and trusting this?
I'm going to give it a shot once it becomes available to me. Yeah, for sure.
So Google isn't just fighting your subscription, they're fighting to be the operating system for how your business thinks. So chat, would you trust an AI skill to automatically pay your company's invoices, that reads your emails and your Google Drives and responds and does things for you? Or is that a step too far? Let us know in the comments below.
Tired of drowning in repetitive tasks while your competitors race ahead? Every minute you spend on manual data entry, scheduling, and routine processes is a minute you're not growing your business. Flowgrammer.ca transforms your workflow chaos into seamless automation. We build AI-powered systems that handle your busy work so you can focus on what actually makes you money. Our clients typically save 15 plus hours per week and see their productivity double within 60 days. Visit flowgrammer.ca for a free automation audit. That's flowgrammer.ca. Stop working in your business and start working on it.
What do you got going on, John?
Just plugging away, helping companies with government funding, attending events, probably startup drinks or a Flowgrammer event. How about you, Craig?
Lots of stuff going on. I honestly don't know when this is going out. I have to check. I think it's going to go out in April. But there's all sorts of stuff going on. If you don't know about OpenClaw, it's the latest AI automation agent that's taken the world by storm in 2026. And OpenClaw Toronto chapter just launched. And we have all sorts of events going on. So check out openclawto.com. Our first demo night is April 14th. We have a Builder Cafe on April 10th. We have a bunch of other events. There's updates every day. We've deconstructed the latest 2 betas over the weekend that was launched in OpenClaw and what you should do about them. There's a bunch of articles over there. Go check that out. We're also over at flowgrammer.ca where we do N8N automations. We run the Flowgrammer community and do Builders Hub and connectivity for AI and business automation agents. And for everything else, head over to TorontoStarts where we hook up startups and investors at our Startup Investor Drinks. We do mentoring, we do workshops, we have a list of investors. There's a whole bunch of content over. You can also book me over there if you want a meeting with me to talk about whatever, help your startup. Check out TorontoStarts.com. But John, if people are looking for non-dilutive funding, where should they go and what is that?
Yeah, non-dilutive funding. We're talking government grants, tax credits. Come find me on LinkedIn if you have any questions. Right now is shred time, SRDD. But come reach out to me too if you've got a startup, if you've got a company. Reach out to me if you have any questions, and if they have company questions about their startup in general, where do they find you, Craig?
Yeah, find me at TorontoStarts.com. But John, just before we go, something's open right now, and it's closing May 31st. Thank you. Can Export. And what? Yeah.
So
what
if
should
you have
people
at
know
least
about that?
300,000 in revenue in the previous year, and you're looking to expand outside of Canada, reach out to me, and we can put together. We can talk about an application for Can Export.
All the links we talked about will be in the show notes wherever you're watching this. Thanks for watching, everybody. Leave us a comment, give us a like, give us a subscribe. We really appreciate it. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks for tuning in to Silicon Scoop. We hope you enjoyed this episode's dive into the latest tech news. Stay connected with John Irwin and the Startup Coach on LinkedIn and subscribe for more insights and updates. Until next time, stay ahead, stay informed.